What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Chris, coming at you for another Duel Bros video, and today I'm bringing you an Emerald and Amber discard deck breakdown. And this one is going to really surprise you, I think, okay? For a couple of reasons. If you didn't see the Instagram post, this is a fairly cheap deck to build. It is, roughly $99 estimated. Um, right now, one as of January 8th, 2024. So I really just got tired of playing Ruby Amethyst over and over again with my Amber Steel deck. And so I was just like, why don't I switch it up? Because Ruby Amethyst is really the majority of what's going around right now. So it's about 65-70%, I think, of what people are playing in the DFW area, at least what I've experienced. Um, it's a really good deck, right? So I've started attending like multiple what you call it, locals a week, and one of the locals I decided that I'm gonna start playing Ruby Amethyst, and then another local I'll just have like a fun one. Um, but I didn't really have enough experience playing Ruby Amethyst, and I truly I'm starting to understand how powerful it is. But one thing you need to do in order to learn how to beat something is learn how it works. So that is mainly what this is here for now. Okay, this deck actually does very well into Ruby Amethyst. I like discard decks. This is a happy coincidence. Um, I truly was just trying to build a deck to try to understand Ruby Amethyst, and then build a deck that I thought could beat it. And the reason why you didn't get this earlier was because I was like, you know what? This did good in testing, but why don't I go out and test it in the wild? And not so well. Not so well. I did not have. Um, Imagine the list you see above me, right? But take out Verana, the 5-drop inkable, take out Arthur, the 4-drop inkable, and then take out Cheshire Cat, the 2-drop inkable. And then there were other cards. And then, um, yeah, it just did not work. Green and Amber, they don't have a lot of super strong um, cards. Not and there are some cards you could say that are strong, right? Like attack, and I mean challenging wise, okay. But the ones that work for the discard deck that coincide that help this thing flow like a river, um, are not high in attack power. Well, the Cheshire Cat, the Arthur, and the Verana, they do just fine, to be honest. I the 5-drop Tiana I was thinking about, but she only has 3 health, and she does quest for 3, but that um you're not really that hurting for questing. If you want, you could drop one beast and go 2 Verana, 2 Tiana. I'm not mad at that. But having Verana or Viriana, whatever her name is, be able to pretty much probably safely tank a hit, and then you can maybe bibbity bobbity boo her away and come back, is really cool. Whereas Tiana, Tiana is just kind of like or she's a big hitter. She hits for 5, only has 3 health, and quest for 3. She's kind of a glass cannon. Um, this deck is very fast. Um, I built it so that probably not even going to get to turn 6. Um, Sometimes you do get to turn it does get to turn 6, but most of the time the pressure is just so much on questing because you've made it that way that the game is over before Be Prepared can even be played. And And yeah, and they're too busy doing their Madam Mim shit to stuff. I apologize to 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 really deal with what you have going on. So yeah, let's get into it. All right, it is a bit tricky. You have to learn the sequencing a little bit, but it is really straightforward. Um, when it comes compared to like a lot of other, especially compared to Ruby Amethyst, learning how to play that deck. So, World's Greatest Criminal Mind, we're going to get into the actions first, okay? It's a song, it's a 3 drop, it's inkable, banish chosen character with 5 attack or more. It's a very, very good card. Your weakness here in this deck is steel, and this really helps you deal with steel characters like Hercules, Cinderella. There's also Maleficent that this will help you deal with. Maui. Um, there's a lot of strong characters that you'll be able to take out with that card. And as I spoke of earlier, you just do not have a lot of strong attacking characters because that is, I mean, it's only fair. I don't think it would be fair for you to be able to make your opponent discard and then also that same card be really, really strong in attack power and have good life and be low cost and like be inkable. You know what I mean? You can't have everything in life. Um, so you try to figure out what you can. And so then we have Sudden Chill. Um, it's a song. I had 4 of it at first, and I had Cinderella, the 1 drop Amber, in here at first. But I found her to just be a little bit too extra, a little bit cute, as some of my friends say. And yeah, this is a really good card. Each opponent chooses and discards a card. Before I forget, too late into the video, shout out to Anish. He is the main guy who has really been helping me build this deck, and he is also the one who kind of helped me realize that Cinderella is not where it was at. Because ideally, sure, you could sing it on turn 2 with Cinderella, make them discard immediately, but you really don't want any discarding happening um, until you play your Prince John, right? Because that's when you get to start drawing off of the discarding. Okay, so the only exception to that would be this next card, which is Hypnotize. Okay, it's a 3 drop. It's inkable. It's like your backup card to Prince John. Each opponent chooses and discards a card. Draw a card. Okay, very straightforward. Um, hopefully you draw into like a Prince John or something useful. But yeah, if you feel like maybe you need to go up to 4 of these, I'm not mad at you. This is a really good card. Um, you're always looking for that Prince John, but if you don't have a Prince John, um, hopefully you drew this. Most of the time, like if you don't have a Prince John and you are mulligan to try for find a Prince John, you will have found a Hypnotize. Um, so very, very strong. And this deck is so fast that halting your opponent's uh, hand, like getting rid of their hand, is still very effective, even if you're not drawing. Um, it's just when you have Prince John out, it is very, very effective. Okay, and if for all of you are like, who is Prince John, Prince John, Prince John, we'll get there. I'm just gonna keep mentioning him and just emphasizing how strong that card is. Okay, um, you have forgotten me. It's a very, very straightforward card. It's a great card. It's 4 drop, inkable. Each opponent chooses and discards 2 cards. Okay, they have to have 2 cards to discard. It's a very, very, very good card. Okay, Bibbidi, Bobbidi, Boo. This card is super fun. Okay, super fun to say. It's super fun to play. I know that I was saying that like I had a third thing to rhyme it with, and I didn't. So there's that. Um, Return chosen character of yours to your hand to play another character with the same cost or less for free. 3 drop, uninkable. Okay, this is really cool. You can get into some really fancy combos uh, with your shifty girl and boys. Or maybe if you have a damaged character, you can swap them out with another character. Or maybe if you want to play the same character, you can do that. We'll talk about that later. Okay, there's many things you can do with this card. Very versatile, but it is uninkable and it is a combo card, so having 3 is perfectly fine. You don't want to draw it. Having 2, you don't see enough. It does have enough versatility use in this deck that it is worthwhile. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. In the first rendition, I had 3 of her in there, and it just didn't work well. I did not have the ratios right for all the stuff, but now I got it all worked out for you guys, and it flows like a river. Um, Next, we're going to talk about the characters. Okay, let's have some fun with the characters. So we're going to talk about the queen. The queen is really, really good. She's pretty straightforward. She is a really, really good attacker, quester, um, glass cannon type. Okay, she is going to help you beef up all your characters from 1 attack to 5 attack, and then at the same time drop your opponent's attack so that your characters can live. Okay, I say 1 attack to 5 attack because that's right. Most characters in this deck have 1 attack. Okay, there's a few standouts that have 5, 4, and 3 attack, but most of these characters have 1 and 2 because they are part of the discard combo, and that is only fair. Um, I love this card. The big queen shifts on top of the little queen for 2. So that is why we're talking about this card so early on, because I hardly consider this queen a 5 drop. I consider her a 2 drop, which I get her out as soon as possible. A lot of the times, depending on the scenario and the deck I'm going against, of course. You can't necessarily play everything the same way, but she is so strong, especially coming out. Had the possibility of coming out on a turn 2. Okay, just really, really strong. Um, and you're gonna bibbity bobbity boo her, like out like away for and put like a Lucifer or like a Verana out so early, and then you can use the little queen for ink. It's very strong. Okay, now the next shifty boy we're going to talk about, or I guess that was a shifty girl. Now we're going to talk about a shifty boy. Okay, this shifty boy, I'm not gonna lie. When I first read the card, a long time ago when the set first dropped, didn't really like it that much. Uh, but I'm sold down. I'm sold down. So fun to play with. So fun to play with. You just have to put your opponent. You have to just force your opponent in a certain position, and that position is discarding all their cards, and then this guy is lethal. Okay, Flynn Rider, not the 1 drop, the guy we're gonna get to later, but this guy is so good. Okay, the fact that they gave him a 1 drop on top of that 2 drop that he had is so good. Okay, you can shift and start questing so fast, especially if you get lucky draws and you can just really get that discard going really fast, or if you're playing an opponent who empties their hand fast, so you really don't have to use but maybe like 1 discard card. Oh gosh, the discards are crazy. Okay, yeah, like if okay, let's get into it. So I got 4 of these. I got max. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. We got max discard of the Flynn Rider, or max copies of the Flynn Riders for shifties. Okay, the 2 drop is from the set 1. Everybody should know about this guy. He's so great. A 1 attack, 2 health, inkable 2 drop. Whenever this character is challenged, the challenging player chooses and discards a card. Quest for 2. So it's just a very, very good card that you just play, and then you just start questing, and your opponent just, they have to deal with them, or or they deal with 2 quests a turn. So it was very, very strong, and then they gave him another good use of being able to be a shifty boy for shift Flynn Rider. Okay, this guy is so good. Okay, shift 2, uh, 2 attack, 3 health, uh, 4, it's uninkable, but he quests for 4. Okay, but he is evasive, so that is so huge. Okay, to add an evasive character into a deck like this is, oh, so good. Okay, because not a lot of decks can deal with evasive, and they really don't expect something like an evasive character this early that can quest for this much, coming from a deck like this. Um, so this character gets -1 quest for each card in your opponent's hand. So that's the downside. Okay, so you don't necessarily want to play him on turn 2 all the time. But maybe you do as like an attacker to take out like something that maybe your opponent uh, got overzealous and quested with their turn 1 character, and then you shift 2 and then boom, you attack, and then maybe you play Prince John on turn 3 and then you sing the Sudden Chill. Uh, but more often than not, you want to try to get the queen, okay, or you want to play like the baby Flynn, and then you want to play the 2-drop Flynn or the next character we're talking about, and then after you start the Prince John stuff, then you want to get the Flynn Rider Shifty Boys to get to going, okay, because nothing is more devastating than when you play a 1-drop uh, Flynn Rider as the last card in your hand, and then your opponent uh, like can't get rid of it, or like they quest instead of getting rid of it somehow, and then you top deck the Shifty Boy, and then you just shift for game. It is such a good feeling, and it happens way more than you think. So then we got the 2-drop of Cheshire Cat. This is such a good card. It can immediately help you stop that Madam Mim cycle that's going on. Normally they bounce stuff back, but if they missequence things, or sometimes they have a bad draw, and you can get an opportunity to take out a Madam Mim because they're gonna maybe attack into one of your Flynn Riders. You can use this Cheshire Cat as 3 attack and 2 health. He's a glass cannon. I don't expect him to live. He is there as a human, as a character missile, and he does a good job. And I really like this guy. He's a really big addition. He just really is able to help you maintain or help the board state from getting out of control. Because that's the issue I was having when I went to that locals with my first rendition of this deck. Is just I found a lot of people were really trying to quest really fast to outpace red purple, and they didn't. Whereas this deck is like trying to attack their hand, and if they're emptying their hand, it didn't work. So I needed things to be able to challenge other characters with, and now this deck runs very very smooth, very very smooth. Um, 3 drops, right? Cheshire Cat, very simple. When this character is challenged and banished, banish a challenging character. Quest for 2, 0 attack, 3 health. 3, it's inkable. Very, very good. You play it and use quest. Play it, quest, play it, quest. Sing friends with it. It's a great card. I did have the big Shifty Boy in here. I didn't really like it. It never got played. Never came into action. I'd rather just have the Beast. Um, that way, if I do need to clear the board, all your stuff will probably be destroyed in the challenge. So you have the Beast that you can just continually quest with. Everything quest for 2, so it's like no harm, no foul there. Um, and we have Prince John, the guy I've been talking about a lot up until this point. Um, it's 3 drop, uninkable, 1 attack, 2 health. He has ward, so opponents can't choose his character except a challenge. And whenever your opponent discards 1 or more cards, you may draw a card for each card discarded. It says you may, so don't feel obligated to overdraw, okay? Because decking out means you lose. So if you get this guy going, it is crazy. And if you play more than 1, they stack. It is wild, okay? He quests for 2. Um, the combos that you can get are wild, okay? You typically don't want to discard until you get this guy played. I mean, if you don't have him in your hand and you don't draw him, then make your opponent discard, right? But if you can play this guy, play him, and then make your opponent discard, because then you're drawing as they're discarding, and it is just really devastating mentally and just all around factually. It is just factually devastating to go against. So this is a really really good card. He is the draw engine of the whole deck. So protect him at all costs. That is why we are playing and we are naming this deck Protect the Prince. Okay, so now we got Arthur. I kind of already mentioned before why I put Arthur in the deck. 4 attack, 3 defense, 4 drop, inkable, quest for 2. Stays with the theme. Almost everything after 2 2 and on, quest for 2 except for Cheshire Cat. So you really have a high quest rate, and we get to 20 very fast. and this guy can really help you maintain the board state just like the Cheshire Cat. And then we got Verana. Okay, three of her. I've talked about her again. Five attack, five defense, two quest, five cost, inkable, very very good, consistent with the quest, can maintain a hit, bibbity bobbity booer back on the field, or bibbity bobbity booer on the field early with a shifty boy. Very very good. You can do the same thing with Arthur. It is very 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 good card. This deck has a lot of versatility. It's very straightforward to play though, but you can get complicated with it if you want to. Uh, Lucifer, 5 drop, uninkable, 2 health, 2 defense, 2 attack, and 2 defense. When you play this character, each opponent chooses and discards either 2 cards or 1 action card. Quest for 2. This card is very good. Obviously, it can't be too strong in the health and attack department, otherwise, it would be broken. Okay, but you bibbity bobby this fool after you play him back into your hand, and then you can replay him, have your opponent potentially discard 4 cards in 1 turn. It is absolutely nuts. Imagine you are drawing 4 cards and your opponent is discarding 4 cards. It is so so good. Okay, and then the last card in the deck that we are going to cover is the Beast. Okay, 6 drop, inkable, 4 attack, 5 defense. Whenever an opposing character is damaged, you may ready this character and quest for 2. Okay, now notice most cards that say have an effect like that, you may ready this character again in a turn. It says, but you cannot quest. Not here. Not here. You can quest with this boy. So, say you need to clear the field, and say like you do need Lucifer to like attack to like take something like a little boy out. Well, boom, there you go. You can take that little boy out, and instead of having Lucifer quest for 2, you can quest for 2 with the Beast, have Lucifer attack, awaken, and then quest again. And so it is really, really a good card. Doesn't really come out quite a lot, but just because it doesn't come out a lot doesn't mean you don't need a big boy in the back end, okay? Because everything doesn't always go quite as planned. And guys, that was Protect the Prince. It was a fun deck to play. I hope you guys enjoy it. And like I said, Steel is a very, very rough matchup. So if you go against Steel and it feels bad, I warned you ahead of time. Again, thank you, Anish, my brother. You helping me build this discard deck with the discard duo, right? And that's it. I hope you guys have a great night, weekend, weekday, and I'll see you next time. Peace.